All right, welcome to the channel. This is the Rational Wrestling Mark YouTube channel, video 1, and we're going to be breaking down and reviewing WrestleMania 39. And we're going to start off with night 1. And this is going to be a whole WrestleMania full show breakdown for night 1 and night 2. And make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you are new, and let's get started here. So for night 1, the first match we're going to be covering is we got John Cena versus Austin Theory for the WWE United States Championship. Now, looking at this match on paper, it doesn't seem like a 5-star classic, right? We all know John Cena to be, one of the worst wrestlers in hindsight, but from a character standpoint, he just gets it. From a character standpoint, he's one of the greatest of all time. When you see John Cena in the ring, you're not going to expect a 5-star match. You're not going to expect him to be doing flips and kicks and all these cool, innovative moves, right? You're not going to see that in his matches. You're going to see the shoulder tackles. You're going to see the 5-knuckle shuffle. You're going to see the FU, his STFU, the submission, his whole submission hold. You're not going to be seeing much. As we like to call John Cena, the 5 moves of doom. That's what every wrestling fan for the past 2 decades have been calling him. Because when it comes to his matches are bland at best, if we're being honest. But from a psychology standpoint, from engaging with the crowd, having the crowd in the palm of his hands, he's one of the best. He's one of the best to do it. And he's able to tell a story in the ring. Now, his match with Austin Theory was very simple. Austin Theory, of course, went over, hitting a low blow on John Cena. Referee was down, had a ref bump. This was a match that Austin Theory, for his character, needed to win. He needed to win this match to make him look strong, because he is the future. Well, he's the present. And for John Cena, winning really would not have made sense. Even though some people would enjoy a John Cena US title run. Me personally, I wouldn't really care for it. But no doubt would it definitely, help accelerate the talent in the locker room if he did win the US championship and he did these open challenges every week, right? Helping other talent get over. That would have been helpful, but he did that in 2015. If you don't remember, he did do that in 2015, originally when he beat Rusev at WrestleMania 31. So I don't see no point in that if that were to be the results. He's in Hollywood. It seems to me John Cena is pretty much wrapping up his wrestling career. So him beating Austin Theory would not have really made any sense. It was a decent match, a decent opener. Austin Theory got a lot of heat on him. Of course, with biting John's ear from the very beginning, that definitely helped him get over. Crowd booing him. Um, very important for Austin Theory to look strong here, and especially after John Cena just completely taking his lunch money in that promo that he cut on him, last month. Uh, this was a much needed win for Austin Theory, even though he cheated to win. I don't know if they run this back. I don't think they do that. In my opinion, they shouldn't do a rematch. There's no point, because John Cena is not there to help build up the match. If you remember, he was only on that one Raw. That's it. That one Raw to help build towards that match. So his whole thing was, get in and get out. And hence, that's why he was the opening match with Theory. To just kind of get in, get out, get that paycheck, you know what I'm saying? But it was a decent opener, nothing special. Nothing too special about this match. Moving on. So next, we got the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Showcase. Street Profits, Alpha Academy, Viking Raiders, Ricochet, and Braun. So out of this entire tag team match, Ricochet and Braun are just a makeshift tag team. They're just put together. I get it, big man, little man dynamic. That's always kind of worked in wrestling, with the big man and the little man being a tag team. Those tend to work out for a good while, but then as time progresses, it kind of runs its course a little bit. But no doubt was this one of the best matches of the entire WrestleMania weekend. I mean, this is a very late review, a week later actually, but I want to get my own thoughts on it, on this entire WrestleMania. But this was one of the best matches on the card, no doubt. All four teams definitely showcased. They definitely brought it and delivered. My pick to win was Alpha Academy, because I think Alpha Academy, ever since Triple H has taken over in creative, Alpha Academy has been consistent. Chad Gable is very talented. Otis is very talented. You put two talented guys together in a tag team, it's just gonna work, right? And they blend in so well, right? They know how to be serious, and then they know how to turn that switch to be more comedic, to be more humorous. And they have that ability. Chad Gable's really good at playing the goofy character, but also then being more serious when he needs to make that switch, right? My pick was Alpha Academy because they need to win. Let's be honest, they have not won a lot of matches. Although they've been consistent on Raw, they've been more entertaining. They have put on, good to great matches on Raw every week. They just needed this win. And this was the match to put them over for sure. But the Street Profits, they went over. I can see why. The Street Profits, one of the best tag teams in the tag division. Montez Ford, in my opinion, is bound to break out pretty soon. Hence why I would not have went with the Street Profits, because the whole goal is to break them up and make Montez a single star. You're not going to have them win. You're going to have them lose, right? I believe Alpha Academy would have been a better choice to take on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for those tag straps. That would have been a banger for sure. But overall, excellent match. All four tag teams played their part well. The Viking Raiders looked decent. Braun and Ricochet were good. Ricochet in particular was amazing. That springboard. If I can't even pronounce it, springboard shooting star press. I believe it was. I can't even pronounce it. I'm my bad, y'all. But a shooting star press out on the floor onto everybody else, and that was great. How he perfected that move. Um, but yeah, just great action overall. All four teams looked pretty good, and I ain't got nothing more to say about that. So moving on to next, we got Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. We knew going into this one that this was going to be a 3-4 star match. Logan Paul has proven himself to hang with the top guys. His match with Roman was indication that he's good. He can definitely hang. He can definitely deliver. Um, he's not a step behind. Obviously, he's green, but he was able to hang with Seth Rollins, and everybody knew that going in, right? Obviously, the build-up was pretty decent. Logan Paul knocking out Seth Rollins twice, and Logan Paul costing him the Rumble, costing him the Chamber match, and the entire build-up was all Logan Paul getting the best of Seth Rollins, right? Seth Rollins not able to have Logan Paul's number, and just being just basically being Logan Paul's bitch the entire build-up, punking him out and stuff. So, logic would dictate that Seth Rollins should win, right? He should curb stomp Logan Paul to next week, get his get back, and move on. And that's exactly what happened in this match. Very back and forth action. The best moment of the match was when Logan Paul pulled in his mascot, his energy drink mascot, and it turned out to be YouTuber KSI in that mascot. Logan was going to frog splash Seth through the announce table, and KSI had the phone to record it, going on, taking place. And then last minute, Seth Rollins pulls in KSI, and then he winds up getting frog splashed by Logan Paul. And I thought that was probably the best moment of the entire match right there. That was pretty good. And Seth goes over with the curb stomp, gets a big win. And Seth needed a WrestleMania win after losing 3 times, losing 3 straight WrestleManias in a row. It was important for Seth to, get this win and, be taken more seriously, because obviously being knocked out by someone that's not a wrestler, that doesn't do what you do on a weekly basis, you definitely have to get your credibility back. So this was a good way for Seth to get his credibility back after being punked out by Logan Paul. And had he lost to Logan Paul, that would have definitely damaged his credibility, for sure. Any top guy status that Seth had, it's instantly taken away with losing to Logan Paul, for sure. So moving on from that match, and we're going to get to I believe the next match was the 6-woman tag match with Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish taking on Damage Control, Bayley, Dakota Kai, IYO Sky. Low expectations heading into this one. I really wasn't expecting much from like Lita, who has a lot of ring rust. Obviously, she was a little bit. She had a bit of pep in her step in this match because it's WrestleMania. Why wouldn't you? Compared to that Raw match, that god awful Raw match they had with Becky and IYO Sky and Dakota Kai, that was just horrible. Lita was definitely motionless throughout the entire match. But this one had some good moments, had some good spots in it. Trish, I don't think she ages at all. I don't think when it comes to Trish, I don't think she ages, man. She still looks the same as she did, 15, 20 years ago. She can still go, man. She can definitely still go in that ring. She looks like she hasn't missed a step at all. And when it comes to Damage Control, they were pretty hot coming out of SummerSlam last year. But obviously, as time progressed, they have been lackluster. They have been boring, and they just haven't clicked as a group. They've lost a lot. They've lost a lot of matches. Bayley has lost to Bianca a lot. IYO Sky and Dakota Kai feel like jokes. They just feel like nobodies, and it's time for Damage Control to break up. Obviously, going forward, Dakota Kai and IYO Sky need to be single stars and go on their own. Bayley, I don't know what's going on with Bayley. Her contract may be coming up pretty soon, coming to an end. She may be leaving. I don't know the whole news about that. But Damage Control, they lose to Trish, Lita, and Becky. Becky hit a nice manhandle slam, aka rock bottom from the top rope. Looked very nasty and got the win. I wasn't expecting this match to be as long as it was. I was expecting this match to be 5 to 10 minutes at best. This match went on longer than I expected it to. Love the entrance with Trish, Lita, and Becky. Comic book inspired. And I thought in this match, Lita definitely stepped it up. Trish, if she can be a full-time wrestler next week, she would be just fine because she has definitely not missed a step. And yeah, good match. Nothing horribly wrong with it. It's just, Damage Control really tried to be taken seriously, but it's just not working. And I think by the time Bayley, by the time Bayley lost to Bianca at in that ladder match, I believe, or Extreme Rules, I think that was like the beginning of the end when she couldn't get the win on Bianca. She couldn't beat her for the Raw Women's title. It was just, okay, what's the point of Damage Control? Right? And IYO and Dakota Kai were barely defending those tag team championships. They didn't really have any worthy opponents. The tag team division with the women is completely trash. Completely trash. There's no direction in that division whatsoever. So the match was good. Nothing wrong with it. And next we have Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. Father versus son match. This right here was storyline psychology 101. This was storytelling psychology 101. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio were giving us They were definitely giving us a master class on how to tell a story in the ring, giving us a master class of psychology. And it's not about the moves, it's not about the kick out, it's not about, you know, going out there and having a 5-star match. You know, it's about the story that's being told in the ring. And that's exactly what Rey and Dom did. They went out there, told a story. They were engaging with the crowd. You know, you had Rey's wife, Rey's daughter at ringside for this one. You know, you knew by the time you saw the sister and the wife, you know, Dom's sister and Rey's wife at ringside, you knew this was going to get personal. And it did. It got very, very personal. You know, Dominic went up to his sister and got in her face and splashed water right in her face. Personally, when I saw that, I was cracking up. I couldn't help it, you know, but laugh. That was pretty funny. And I believe Dom's mother slapped him right in the face, and you know, and the Rey and Dom, you know, their chemistry was on point. I mean, of course, right? But what do you expect from father and son? Obviously, this is a match that those two definitely worked hard to perfect before the match, before WrestleMania, and they definitely put something great together. You know, Dominic Mysterio has improved drastically since turning heel and joining the Judgment Day back in September. It took him a while to get comfortable in that role and being a heel, but as time progressed, he has really, really shown improvements. He's becoming a lot more comfortable on the mic and in the ring. I believe he's one of the biggest heels in the WWE right now, apart from Roman Reigns. I mean, he gets a lot of heat. A lot of heat is on him. Just straight up disrespecting his father, you know. And just overall, it was a great match. You know, I have no complaints about it. Rey has to go over because for months and months, Dominic has punked out his own father. He was not going to lay a hand on him at all. He told us repeatedly that I am not going to fight my own son. I'm not going to fight my own son. And then until a week before WrestleMania, he finally laid his hands on Dom, you know, punched him right in the face, and it was a wrap. It was a wrap from that point. And, you know, so for Rey Mysterio to get his W to, you know, was special, you know, after being inducted to the Hall of Fame, well deserved. So this was a story that Rey Mysterio had to come out victorious. And the heat is definitely still on Dominic Mysterio. I believe when these two definitely run it back, Dom has to win, get his win back. We saw interference from Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny obviously stopped Dominic from cheating. And yeah, so Rey gets the win and celebrates with Bad Bunny. And by the way, I loved the entrances from both Dom and Rey. That was, you know, those two had WrestleMania worthy entrances. Like, that's how you do it. That's how you make a damn entrance on a big stage like WrestleMania. I thought that was awesome. So moving on from that, we're gonna get into, let's see here, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Awesome match. You know, there's nothing really to say about Charlotte Flair. She is her ring presence is always on point. She knows how to command respect. She knows how to make an entrance. She's definitely come into her own in these past 7-8 years. Um, Going into this match, it was I was definitely rooting for Rhea Ripley because it's just her time. It's her time to win the championship. Beat Charlotte, um, get back, because WrestleMania 36, Charlotte went over, and Money in the Bank 2021, Charlotte beat Rhea Ripley again. And I believe the first time it was for the NXT Women's Championship. No people in the crowd, no fans, just an empty arena. It was a good match, But Money in the Bank 2021, I believe, was for the Raw Women's Championship, and Charlotte went over. So, logic would dictate that this third match between Rhea and Charlotte at WrestleMania, Rhea Ripley has to win. That was the story going into the entire match, that Rhea has to win. Rhea has to get on that level that Charlotte is on. And she needs to be the top woman in the entire division. And I believe Rhea Ripley has had the best character work out of all the women for the past year. These two women in this match, they brought it. They have great chemistry. I expect nothing less from both these women. In my opinion, this was probably the best women's match of the entire weekend. Probably one of the best women's matches in WrestleMania history. I would say it definitely ranks in the top 5 for sure. But this was a match that Rhea had to win, and the right person won. If Charlotte had won, it would just killed Rhea. It would have killed her entire push, and it would have definitely diminished her entire character. And her winning that Rumble would have just made no sense at all. If you're just gonna have Charlotte win, at this point, Charlotte doesn't need the championship. She's already over. She's already a star. She is fine without that championship. She's already now, I think, a 14-time women's champion. I definitely see her surpassing her dad when it pertains to the number of reigns. She's bound to hit 17 in the next couple years. So if you think this is the end of Charlotte's, women title reigns, then you're only kidding yourself, because she got to get 3 more reigns, 3 more title wins, and she surpasses Ric Flair, right? She gets it to 17, right? But yeah, Rhea Ripley goes over. Very smart, very great match. She hits the top rope Riptide, which looked so nasty, and definitively beats Charlotte clean in the middle of the ring. What a great way to put over Rhea Ripley. And obviously, you send Charlotte packing for a good while. Give her a break. So next is our main event for night 1. And I think I'm going to wrap it up after I talk about this main event. And then I'll make a night 2 review probably later today or tomorrow morning. I'm definitely over 29 minutes right now. I wasn't expecting to go over that time length. I was hoping I can wrap this up by 20 minutes, but I'm just rambling. So the main event, KO and Sami Zayn versus the Usos, the Undisputed Tag Team Champions. This was the right match to close off night 1 of WrestleMania. And, This match just delivered on all cylinders from a character standpoint, storytelling, psychology, match quality. It was what we expected it to be. And months prior, this was always the planned WrestleMania match, right? Out of all the matches that I could predict from like 5 months ago, this was one of those matches. And this was the right match to main event. And this is the first tag team title match to ever close off a WrestleMania. Now, we had a tag team match close off WrestleMania 1. Main event was Hogan, Mr. T versus Roddy Piper, and I forgot the other cat's name. Roddy Piper and somebody else. I forgot the name, y'all. If y'all can remind me in the comments section. But this was for the tag team championship, so this was a big deal. And the story surrounding the match, all the elements, right? KO and Sami Zayn reuniting, getting back together, the Usos and their historic tag team title reign, the story with Jay and Sami, the bloodline having cracks in the foundation. It's just all the elements are coming together, right? This was all about Sami Zayn finding his brotherhood in the bloodline, him wanting to be part of something, and his career was floundering, just going nowhere after he lost to Johnny Knoxville. So him associating himself with the bloodline, that was the best for his entire career. And it's the one thing that made him more relevant. And obviously, in the beginning stages of Sami joining the bloodline, Kevin Owens was the one that tried to talk him out of it. He tried to tell Sami, listen, the bloodline is not your family. They're not your family. They're going to turn on you. They're going to betray you. At some point, they will show their true colors. And KO was right. He tried to warn Sami, but Sami wasn't listening. Sami didn't want to listen. This in turn, would create a lot of tension between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for a while. And then once Sami did break apart from the bloodline and turn on Roman, and then we had Sami Zayn get his gigantic main event push after he lost to Roman, but he still wanted to take down the bloodline. He still wanted to see it crumble. And he felt that by him teaming with Kevin Owens, they could do it together. Initially, Kevin Owens was reluctant. He didn't want to team up with somebody that was against him for an entire year, that basically betrayed him. He had no trust in Sami Zayn, no trust whatsoever. And, and as the weeks progressed, KO initially gave in. He eventually gave in and, teamed up with Sami. And the story of KO and Sami, it kind of writes itself, because they started off as brothers, best friends. Then they became rivals. They became enemies throughout NXT, their early run in WWE, of course, Ring of Honor, their indie wrestling careers. Their careers have always paralleled, but they have never been tag team champions. So going into this match was very important. The Usos being the greatest tag team in the world, bar none. The Usos have been very consistent. They have never broken up. They have never had any issues as a tag team. They have literally been a solid unit since day one, right? If you look at all the tag teams in history of wrestling, they have all broken up. All of them. They have all disintegrated. All the great tag teams in wrestling history, they have broken up. But the Usos have not. They have remained solid since day one. Right? They are the ones. No doubt. But in this match, it was time for the Usos to lose. And I love the way that they lost. I love the fact that Sami and KO reunited. The crowd popped when they reunited. They hugged it out finally. They finally came together and finally put their past behind them, and coming full circle to WrestleMania, the main event, and then going over on the Usos. Sami Zayn getting the pin on Jey Uso was the best decision because of their history, because of their bond, right? And this was the best way to close out WrestleMania Night 1. The crowd was hot for this match. The three Helluva kicks, that was very necessary because the facial expression on Sami Zayn's face when he was about to hit that third Helluva kick, it was like, finally, we're going to end this story. We're going to finally end this story once and for all. We're finally going to take down the bloodline, right? The Usos. We're going to finally take them down. This is it. This is what we've been working for. This is what we've been, striving for years and years. Like, we're going to get our moment. That was the look on Sami Zayn's face. It just told the entire story of enduring and triumph and overcoming and struggles throughout the years, and just getting their just due. Felt special the way they won. And this was one of the greatest tag team matches in WrestleMania history, and deservedly so, considering the elements, considering who was in the match. This was a great payoff. So, yeah, man, that's night 1 of WrestleMania. This is my first time reviewing any wrestling show, so I really wanted to try my hand at reviewing wrestling shows, and I figured WrestleMania would be the first pay-per-view that I review. I want to give my own thoughts on this, and man. Stay tuned for night 2, though. Stay tuned for night 2 review of WrestleMania, and I thought night 1 particularly was the better night of WrestleMania. But we're going to get into night 2 later today or tomorrow.